so let's start the story. Grandpa's Life Lessons. Once upon a time, in a cozy little village nestled between rolling hills and a meandering river, there lived a wise old grandfather named Henry. Henry was known throughout the village for his wisdom and the life lessons he imparted to his grandchildren. His favorite among them was his grandson, Tommy, an inquisitive boy with sparkling eyes. One bright and sunny morning, Tommy visited his grandfather, who was sitting on the porch in his rocking chair, sipping on a cup of steaming tea. Tommy climbed up onto the porch and settled down at his grandfather's feet, looking up at him with eager anticipation. "Grandpa," Tommy asked, "can you tell me a story today? A story about life and its lessons?" Henry smiled warmly at his grandson and nodded. "Of course, Tommy. Let me tell you a story that holds a valuable lesson. The Tale of the Two Seeds. Once, in this very village, there lived two friends, James and Mark. They both dreamed of growing beautiful gardens, but they had very different approaches to achieving their dreams. James, the impatient one, bought the most vibrant flowers he could find, along with a bag of chemical fertilizers. He planted the flowers in his garden and doused them with the fertilizers, expecting instant results. However, no matter how much he watered and fertilized, his flowers struggled to grow. They were weak and wilted, their colors fading day by day. Mark, on the other hand, took a different path. He carefully selected the healthiest-looking seeds from his neighbor's garden and planted them in his own soil. Mark watered them regularly and patiently waited. His garden didn't bloom immediately, but with time, the flowers began to sprout. They grew strong, their colors vibrant and their fragrance filling the air. Tommy listened intently to the story, his eyes fixed on his grandfather. Henry continued, "You see, Tommy, life is like those gardens. James represents those who seek quick, artificial solutions to their problems, hoping for instant gratification. But just like those flowers, they often wither away and leave them disappointed. Mark, on the other hand, symbolizes those who take the time to nurture and cultivate their dreams and aspirations. They understand that real growth and success take time and patience." Tommy nodded, absorbing the lesson. "So, Grandpa, it's better to be patient and work hard for our dreams." "Exactly, Tommy," Henry replied. "Hard work, patience, and perseverance are essential in life. Now, let me tell you another story. The Tale of the Stubborn Rock. In the same village, there was a man named Samuel who had a big problem. There was a massive rock right in the middle of his field, and it was preventing him from planting crops and providing for his family. Samuel decided to get rid of the rock by pushing it away. Day after day, he pushed with all his might, but the rock didn't budge. Samuel grew frustrated, feeling like he was wasting his time. One day, he noticed a neighbor, Emily, who was chipping away at the rock with a small hammer and chisel. Samuel scoffed and asked, "Why are you wasting your time? That rock will never move, no matter what you do." Emily smiled calmly and replied, "I'm not trying to move the whole rock, just a piece of it. With time and persistence, even a small chisel can make a big difference." Years passed, and Samuel had given up on moving the rock, while Emily had managed to chip away a significant portion of it. One day, a heavy rainstorm hit the village, and the water flowed smoothly through Emily's field, nurturing her crops and ensuring a bountiful harvest. Samuel's field, however, was left flooded and barren due to the unmoved rock. Grandpa Henry paused and looked at Tommy, who seemed deep in thought. "You see, Tommy," The story of Samuel and Emily teaches us about perseverance and the power of consistent effort. Life may present us with obstacles, but if we approach them with determination and patience, even the toughest challenges can be overcome. Tommy smiled, understanding the lesson. So, Grandpa, we shouldn't give up when things get tough, right? That's absolutely right, Tommy, Henry said with pride. Now, let me share one more story with you. The tale of the caring woodcutter. In a nearby forest, there was a woodcutter named Thomas. He was known far and wide for his exceptional skills with an axe and his ability to fell trees faster than anyone else. However, Thomas had a secret that set him apart from other woodcutters. Whenever he cut down a tree, he would plant 2 saplings in its place. One day, a fellow woodcutter named Richard approached Thomas and said, "Why do you waste your time planting saplings? You could cut down more trees and make more money if you didn't bother." Thomas replied with a wise smile, "I may not see the full-grown trees I plant today, but someone else will, and they'll be grateful for the shade and wood those trees provide. I believe in giving back to nature and to future generations." Years passed, and Thomas continued his practice of planting 2 saplings for every tree he cut. The forest around him flourished, becoming a lush and vibrant place. Meanwhile, Richard's forest began to suffer from deforestation, leading to soil erosion, and a decline in wildlife. One day, a terrible storm swept through the region, and Richard's forest was devastated, with many of his trees falling due to weak root systems caused by overharvesting. Thomas's forest, however, stood strong, as the older trees protected the younger ones, and the soil remained stable. Grandpa Henry looked at Tommy and said, "The story of Thomas teaches us the importance of responsibility and sustainability. In life, it's crucial to consider the long-term consequences of our actions and give back to the world around us. This way, we not only benefit ourselves but also leave a positive legacy for future generations." Tommy nodded thoughtfully. "So, Grandpa, we should always think about how our actions affect others and the world around us." "Yes, Tommy," Henry replied. "That's a valuable lesson. Now, let me tell you one last story for today. The tale of the kind baker. In the heart of the village, there was a bakery owned by a kind-hearted baker named Sarah. Sarah's bakery was famous not only for its delicious bread and pastries but also for the warm smiles she shared with everyone who walked through her door. She was generous and often gave away extra bread to those in need, never expecting anything in return. One day, a traveler named Jack visited the village. He was hungry and had very little money. He walked into Sarah's bakery and asked for a small piece of bread, explaining his situation. Without hesitation, Sarah gave him a hearty loaf of bread, free of charge. Jack was touched by Sarah's kindness and promised to return the favor someday. He continued his journey and eventually found a job in a neighboring town. Over the years, he prospered and became a successful merchant. One day, Jack remembered the kindness shown to him by Sarah and decided to visit the village again. He brought with him a wagon filled with goods from his successful business, and he gifted them to the villagers, including Sarah. Sarah was overjoyed and said, "I helped you when you were in need, Jack, and now you're helping the whole village. This is the true meaning of kindness coming full circle." Grandpa Henry concluded, "Tommy, the story of Sarah and Jack teaches us about the power of kindness and how it can create a ripple effect of goodness in the world. When we show kindness to others, it not only brightens their lives but can also lead to unexpected blessings for ourselves and our communities." Tommy beamed with understanding. "So, Grandpa, Being kind to others is like planting seeds of goodness that can grow and spread. Exactly, Tommy, Henry replied. Kindness is a gift that keeps on giving. Remember these stories, and the lessons they hold, as you go through life. They will guide you to become a wise and compassionate person. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Tommy hugged his grandfather tightly. He had learned valuable lessons about patience, perseverance, responsibility, and kindness. Grandpa Henry had once again shared his wisdom through stories that would stay with Tommy throughout his life, guiding him on his journey to becoming a thoughtful and compassionate person.